Warriors Nation, we need to talk. Because what's happening right now might not just reshape the Golden State Warriors' future, it could define the legacy of this front office. We're standing at a crossroads. Jonathan Kuminga hasn't accepted the qualifying offer. He turned down a 2-year, $45 million deal. The Warriors haven't moved on a sign-and-trade. And other teams, big teams, are circling. This isn't just about one young player. This is about whether the dynasty knows how to pivot before it's too late. In this video, we'll break down every offer, every risk, every hidden clue in this standoff. Stick with us because what you're about to hear might change how you see this whole situation. Before we jump in, hit that like button if you're a real fan riding through this transition. Subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell so you never miss the truth behind the headlines. Now let's talk about why the Kuminga standoff is far more serious, and far more emotional, than it looks on the surface. It's early August. Free agency has mostly cooled down. But one name still hasn't signed. One situation still hasn't been resolved. And in a league where timing is everything, the fact that Jonathan Kuminga remains in limbo has sent shockwaves across front offices, locker rooms, and agents' phone lines. Let's start with the basics. Kuminga rejected a 2-year, $45 million offer from the Warriors. That's not a small number for a player who's only 21 and hasn't even averaged 17 points per game. But that's not the number that's setting the league on fire. What's drawing attention is that two other teams, the Sacramento Kings and Phoenix Suns, have offered deals that completely eclipse what Golden State put on the table. We're talking about 4-year deals. Close to $90 million. And the message from those teams is loud and clear: we believe in Kuminga more than the Warriors do. Think about that. A guy who was once the 7th overall pick. A player with explosive athleticism, flashes of defensive brilliance, and the kind of ceiling that makes coaches dream. He's being shown the door by the team that developed him. And the teams offering more are in the same conference. The same division. This is personal. Let's look at Sacramento. They've offered a deal reportedly worth $63 million over 3 years. They're also willing to throw in a 2030 first-round pick, lottery protected, and Malik Monk. Now, Malik Monk is not just a throw-in. He's a proven scorer. He's been putting up double digits since 2019. He's just 27 years old, in the middle of his prime. He's fiery, he's efficient, and he's fearless in crunch time. Imagine him next to Steph Curry in late-game moments. It makes sense. Offensively, he brings something the Warriors bench hasn't had in years: a pure, confident shot creator. But Golden State isn't biting. Why? Because of the pick protections. That 2030 first-rounder is lottery protected. And if it doesn't convey, it turns into the least favorable pick between the Kings and Spurs in 2031. That's not just a hedge, that's a gamble. And Golden State, with their eyes set on long-term flexibility, sees this as a lowball. They believe that even if Kuminga wants out, his talent deserves more than a pick that could fall late in the first round or maybe not show up at all. They want it unprotected. They want it clean. Because in their eyes, Jonathan Kuminga is still a high-upside asset, not a player to dump out of desperation. And that's where this gets risky. Because if the Warriors miscalculate, if Kuminga goes to Sacramento and thrives, this could be one of those trades that fans never forget. We're talking about trading away a former top 10 pick within the division, to a rival that already believes they're ready to leapfrog the Warriors. And if he explodes next to De'Aaron Fox and Domantas Sabonis? The narrative writes itself. The Warriors gave up on another young star. And they'll hear it over and over, every time he drops 25 at Chase Center in a Kings jersey. The Phoenix Suns' offer is different, less about star power, more about depth. They've reportedly offered Royce O'Neal, Nick Richards, and 4 second-round picks. And look, on paper, this is a win-now move. O'Neal is a gritty, dependable 3-and-D wing. He'll hustle, guard multiple positions, and knock down the occasional corner 3. Richards is a legit 7-footer, a backup center who rebounds well and has started in spurts. These guys plug holes. They patch up depth. They allow Steve Kerr to mix and match lineups more confidently in the regular season. But there's no first-rounder in that deal. And that's a problem. Because the Warriors aren't just looking for bodies. They're looking for value. They don't want to trade Kuminga for role players and a handful of second-round darts. That's not how you build for the next era. That's not how you honor the value of the 7th overall pick. And let's not forget the broader context. The Warriors still have major roster holes. They don't have a real backup center. Their bench scoring has been unreliable at best. Someone like Malik Monk could absolutely shift that dynamic. Someone like Richards could eat minutes and keep Draymond fresh. But is that enough to justify moving on from a 21-year-old with star potential? Even more important, the league is waiting. Multiple veteran free agents are in a holding pattern. Russell Westbrook, Al Horford, DeAnthony Melton, even Gary Payton too. They're all watching what happens with Kuminga. Because his exit could determine how the Warriors shape the rest of their offseason. If they move him and bring in Monk, suddenly the team looks more win now. If they hold out and keep him, maybe those veterans think twice. Maybe they wait on other options. The calendar is ticking. It's August. Most contract standoffs get resolved in early July. And the longer this drags on, the more pressure builds, not just on Kuminga, but on the front office. Joe Lacob has already gone on record saying the team won't overpay. Mike Dunleavy Jr. is navigating his first full off-season as GM. And the fan base is restless. Because nobody wants to see a repeat of Jordan Poole. A high-upside, homegrown player, cast off after one rough stretch. That stung. And if Kuminga follows the same path, and blossoms somewhere else, the backlash could be brutal. There's no easy answer here. You either go all in on now, take the Monk deal, and hope Steph has one more deep playoff run in him. Or you hold firm, demand a future unprotected pick, and risk alienating a young player who no longer wants to be here. Either choice carries risk. Either choice could define the next 5 years. But one thing is clear, time is running out. The Warriors can't afford to stall much longer. They've always said they want to thread the needle between winning now and building for later. But this is the test. This is the moment. And how they handle Jonathan Kuminga's future might tell us everything we need to know about what kind of team this really is. Because this isn't just a trade rumor. This is a mirror. And when the Warriors look into it, they better hope they like what they see. So what do you think, Warriors fans? Is it time to move on from Kuminga and get win-now pieces? Or should Golden State hold firm and bet on his upside, even if it means dragging this into training camp? Drop your thoughts in the comments, we want to hear from you. And if you made it this far, you're one of the real ones. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the bell so you don't miss the next deep dive. The off-season is far from over, and the next move could change everything. And here's the key takeaway from the channel: delve into financial education to enhance your quality of life. Within the financial market, explore bonds and shares, particularly focusing on real estate investment trusts, which offer the potential for passive income. Engage with this responsibly and consider reputable investment brokerages worldwide.